talk about Kisuke Urahara, the brilliant mind who went from a respected captain in the Soul Society to an exiled rogue in the human world. Why would someone so vital to the Shinigami be banished? It's a story of genius, forbidden experiments, and a system that fears what it doesn't control. Kisuke Urahara's early days as captain of Squad 12 were marked by innovation. He wasn't just a leader, he was a creator. He founded the Shinigami Research and Development Institute, advancing Soul Society's understanding of spiritual technology and combat techniques. But that same brilliance also made him dangerous. Urahara's approach wasn't about following the rules, it was about pushing the boundaries. He created tools and technologies that no one had seen before, and one of those creations would change everything: the Hogyoku. The Hogyoku was designed to break the barrier between Shinigami and Hollows, a groundbreaking concept, but also incredibly risky. This device could potentially destabilize the balance of power in Soul Society. When Central 46, the ruling body of the Soul Society, discovered Urahara's invention, they accused him of conducting forbidden experiments. But it didn't stop there. Aizen, ever the manipulator, framed Urahara for hollowifying Shinigami, including the future Vizards. These accusations were enough for Central 46 to act. Despite his intentions, Urahara was labeled a criminal, stripped of his titles, and banished to the human world. His exile wasn't about justice, it was about silencing someone who had gone too far in their eyes. But Urahara's exile isn't the only example of Soul Society's strict control over power. Let's shift focus to another controversial topic: bankais. Not all bankais are celebrated. In fact, some are outright forbidden. Why are some bankais banned? The reasons vary, but they usually boil down to one of three things: destructive potential, moral ambiguity, or instability. Destructive potential. Some bankais, like Yamamoto's Zanka no Tachi, are so overwhelmingly powerful that using them risks collateral damage on a massive scale. Moral ambiguity. Mayuri Kuratsuchi's Konjiki Ashisogi Jizo is a perfect example. Its poison doesn't discriminate between friend and foe, making it more of a weapon of mass destruction than a combat tool. Unpredictability. Some bankais, like Ichibe Hyosube's Shirafude Ichimonji, alter reality itself. In the wrong hands, or even in the right ones, it's just too dangerous to use freely. The Soul Society's fear of these abilities is rooted in their desire to maintain control. They see these powers as threats to stability, even if it means limiting the strength of their own forces. Kisuke Urahara's banishment and the restrictions on bankais highlight a recurring theme in Soul Society: fear of change. The system isn't built to adapt, it's built to preserve. And when someone or something threatens that preservation, the system reacts harshly. But here's the irony. By exiling Urahara and banning certain powers, the Soul Society creates the very instability it fears. Urahara's innovations ended up saving the Soul Society during the Quincy War, and some of the forbidden bankais were the key to victory in critical battles. While Urahara's banishment shines a light on the rigidity of the Soul Society, it's just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to their controversial practices. Let's delve deeper into other secrets that reveal the Soul Society's darker side. From forbidden prison realms to techniques too dangerous to be used freely. The Mukin, or the Infinite Hell, is the deepest, most secretive level of the Central Underground Prison. Unlike the other levels, Mukin isn't composed of cells. It's an infinite void meant to isolate and neutralize individuals who pose an existential threat to the balance of the worlds. Why Aizen was sent to Mukin after his defeat, Sosuke Aizen was deemed too dangerous to be executed or held in a conventional cell. His unmatched spiritual power and intellect meant that even as a prisoner, he could influence the outside world. To contain him, the Soul Society bound him with advanced seals and confined him to a special chair that suppresses his abilities. Even so, Aizen's sheer willpower allowed him to partially resist the seals, showing just how dangerous he truly is. Who else might be in Mukin? Aizen isn't the only one to be imprisoned in Mukin. Past traitors and criminals whose power or knowledge was too dangerous to let roam free. Individuals who challenged the Soul Society's authority or delved into forbidden areas of research, much like Urahara or Tesai, but without the chance of exile. Those who know too much about the Soul King or the true nature of the worlds. The Mukin exists not just to punish, but to erase individuals from existence without outright killing them. Urahara wasn't the first, or the last, to be banished by the Soul Society. Their history is rife with instances of exiling individuals who didn't conform to their strict rules. The Vizards. The Vizards were once proud captains and lieutenants of the Gotei 13. When Aizen's experiments turned them into hollow hybrids, the Soul Society cast them out rather than helping them recover. These were loyal soldiers who became victims of Aizen's schemes, yet they were treated as criminals. Yorichi's departure. Yorichi Shihoin, the former captain of Squad 2 and head of the Stealth Force, left the Soul Society under mysterious circumstances. Her close ties to Urahara likely played a role in her decision to leave, but her absence left a significant power vacuum in the Soul Society's ranks. Isshin Shiba. Ichigo's father, Isshin, was a captain who left the Soul Society to live in the human world. While his departure was voluntary, it speaks to the rigid rules that made it impossible for him to stay after falling in love with Misaki, a Quincy. What this tells us about the Soul Society. The Soul Society isn't just a haven for lost souls. It's an institution built on control, secrecy, and fear of the unknown. From the creation of Mukin to the banishment of its brightest minds, its leaders have consistently chosen order over justice. As fans of Bleach, these stories remind us that the world of Soul Society is as complex and flawed as the characters who inhabit it. Whether it's the enigmatic Mukin, the harsh punishments for breaking rules, or the forbidden knowledge of the Soul King, these elements make Bleach's universe endlessly fascinating. If you found this dive into the darker side of the Soul Society fascinating, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into the world of Bleach and beyond.